Earlier today, I sat down to chat with the Col-lads, the team of builders behind some of GBG's biggest collaborations. The focus of our conversation was, of course, the Monster Mash collab, their new Halloween-themed creation showcased during the last GBG community stream. We're going to be talking about the details and also taking a peek behind the curtain for this collaboration, so I highly recommend you go watch the full playthrough before coming back and watching this. I've got a link to that in the description of this video. Hey everybody, I'm here with the Col-lads. I'll do a quick rundown of the entire Col-lad crew who were involved with the Monster Mash Bamboozle. So we have Mr. O, Dallas, Disco, Freddy Killer, Jinjo, Curb, Mima, Squally, the masterminds behind the Monster Mash, and we're joined by a couple of them here today. Hey Disco, hey Freddy, hey Mima, hey Squally.
Hey baby!
Hi.
It is fantastic.
Why am I here?
It is fantastic to have you all. And I think today what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look through the amazing Monster Mash collab. A little peek behind the curtain, getting a bit more info in how you managed to craft what I think is probably the biggest GBG collab we've ever seen, even from you all who were, you know, of course, behind the previous collaborations as well. So we're going to get started with what was really the first game in the collaboration. It was in disguise, like a lot of these games. But if anybody feels like they want to kind of talk us through Super Plinko Countdown, first of all, I'm going to get this started.
Yeah, so Dallas volunteered to do the countdown this time in his gorgeous art style. Like no one has quite the aesthetic sense of my man Dallas. Really, you can see how his vids regularly get 1 million views on YouTube. He actually added a secret fast forward button, which is it's actually really hilarious. If you hold the right trigger, ZR, you can zoom through this. You got to hold it down.
Wait, ZR to fast forward?
That's right. Yeah, you gotta give it a good hold.
Oh, here we go.
There it goes. We're even had this cool shape to it.
Yeah, I love how polished.
Oh my god, there's an earthquake happening.
I love how polished this hidden feature is with this camera shape.
It was never supposed to be hidden.
Avalanche.
Yeah, and like, it even waits till like all the balls are counted before like going to the next scene.
Very soothing too. I love a soothing countdown. Okay, now we're into the Bamboozle proper, the real Monster Mash collab.
The art is insane.
Yeah,
Yes,
I can't get. Who was behind these missing posters?
There I am.
Dallas designed
Dallas.
these, and I'm so glad. I think this is like the first time like Dallas has like had like someone import like textures for them.
Yeah,
and it was an honor because his art, it looks so good, and it's like really cool seeing him like flex when he's not limited by the GBG image editor, what he can do.
Knowing now who the missing person is, it's very obvious on the like shaded version of the missing poster. That's a nice little touch. You can still just make out. Okay, now we're definitely into the Curb section.
Curb's cutscenes are so funny.
100%.
Yes.
This was done first.
Really? This was the first
Yeah,
portion of the collab?
yeah, it was like a good way done before I was even invited.
So actually...
Day-
Sorry, go ahead.
Basically, day one, when I proposed the project, Curb was like, "Oh, that sounds cool. I'll get on this right away." And he knocked this out in a day or two.
It's amazing.
And then we were actually making a lot of headway on the collab pretty early on. But then the GBG jam, the trailer game jam, happened, and we kind of just had to go on hiatus for like a whole month after that because we were very tired.
A game jam takes a lot out of you, and I feel like trying to juggle a jam and a mammoth project like this is a step too far, so I understand taking a break. Man, Curb's animations
so
are
much energy.
I was just about to say that they're so like full of vitality. I guess while this is going on, I want to ask, what was the inception of this particular collaboration? You've obviously worked in the past, and I should say as well, the collabs are kind of amorphous group, right? There are people who come in for certain collaborations and they're not always present. So this was building on those efforts of the last collaborations as well. But what prompted this particular one and this particular theme?
During the month of May, summer was coming up. We knew that everyone was going to have a lot of free time off to, actually be able to work on something. And we were tossing a lot of ideas around, and eventually they liked my project proposal. I really wanted to do a sequel to the Christmas Jam because that was just so much fun. I wanted to do something like a bit smaller scale, but as you can see, the scale here is kind of got out of hand, and Freddy did such an amazing job bringing this hub world to life. I gave him like a very like rough sketch and like verbal description, and he fleshed it out so much and made this beautiful, massive hub that you see today.
The hub is so big. How did it fit in GBG with the 512 node on? Like, how?
That is a really good question. What is the node on count on the hub world? Do you remember?
Oh, it's like 5. Well, this I had to split it in 2. I did a little cheat. So it was originally all in 1, but I realized I had to do something with like at least learning the controls and the gate idea. So I just decided to split it into, this is the tutorial hub, the one with the stuff out there.
Right.
And there, when you enter inside the house and go outside, I split it so it's a different hub.
Interesting. So
The
this
other
section
hub
here is just for this first walk into the mansion. And then...
Yes, it is just for the first walk into the mansion. I am sorry, I failed you. 2 codes instead of 1.
No, that's video game magic, isn't it? Right there. I would never have known.
But I could not have done this hub, honestly, without Mima doing the cameo.
Well, I think that's the beauty of a collaboration, right? This is coming together of all of those different skills and making something that no one of you could make yourself, either whether that's just to do with the sheer scale of something or the kind of unique combination of talents that come together to make something so wonderful. So I want to talk a little bit about the Lario model. This is a new model or a continuation of the model used in the previous one. It definitely has some new additions, such as the backpack.
I don't know much.
Continuation.
Yes, so basically we took the Christmas Crash Lario model that Dallas designed, and everyone kind of put a little touch on it, just to make it look like next gen.
It really does look next gen.
Didn't he look a bit weird without the
He has
scar?
backpack.
Yeah, I really just thought he would look cool with a belt and a backpack.
Yes, he's really going on an adventure.
All good games have backpacks.
Yeah, Mr. O was able to tweak the model, stretch him out, make him look thinner. Mima, improve. Like I made some very rough textures for like belt and backpack and stuff, and Mima made it look like gorgeous and added those cool stickers.
Oh, I love
Dallas did some tweaks as well. Made the hat brim thicker so like you can see it from like above and below. It doesn't just fade out. We added a blinking animation to it, so it's not just like a static expression. Lots of little new details.
Perfect. Okay. Is there any specific notes about this introductory hub area, or shall we move on to the next one?
Last time you missed a bit of text.
Ooh, where was that?
It was Zert. Because before the door opens, Zert is, talking to you. He says, wow, I wonder how we can get this door open. Perhaps there's another way. And you just found that way anyway, because you explore and you don't know how to look at an objective.
Hey, I was using my nose. I was sniffing out buttons to press. That's great, though. It's good to be able to see the text that we missed, and having the legendary Zert be the one to indicate the best course of action here. Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
I didn't.
How
Yeah. So
dare
another
you.
thing is with this collab, like I knew immediately like the hub worlds were gonna like be like interior a lot, and GBG's camera, you know, kind of has a bad habit of clipping through everything. So I was looking up like solutions for that, and Zert actually had made like an advanced camera system a while ago, and like you'll see like if you put this camera into like walls, it'll zoom in and get closer to
Yeah.
Lario.
That's a really, really great touch that does make a huge difference in something that has so much, you know, as we'll progress in this, we'll head indoors and get into some very tight corridors, and yeah, it's so nice. It's such a great level of polish that is quite tough to do in GBG. Okay, so I have a burning question about this interior section, this second hub. Was this inspired by the mansion in Resident Evil? The layout of
No.
this space?
I
Not
mean,
at all?
I heard that, you know, they wanted a Resident Evil type camera at first or something, but I do not look at that stuff. I'm a massive wimp. I just have not looked at Resident Evil. If anything, this is just inspired by the foyer in Luigi's Mansion.
Okay.
Just
I
to
was
give a
about-
bit of the Freddy killer twist on it.
Nice floor.
Yeah, the texture work in the environments is particularly beautiful. I really,
Oh,
really,
Wanna
really
hear
oh,
love it.
is there a
funny.
little is there a little character peeking around behind that?
Oh yeah, you
table
didn't
there?
find it.
Behind the
Go to
table?
the-
Oh, nice. No, I did
can go
not
behind
see
it.
this at all.
Yeah, like you can really
Yeah, fly
like
around.
just flex Zert's camera there.
So yeah, Disco, you were saying Freddy's incredible.
This is why we hired Freddy.
Yeah.
Look at this. The head bobbing, the dithering, like nobody does horror like this in GBG.
I agree.
You gotta have
It's
It is
crazy.
Would you
Fantastic.
believe me if I said I made this game in the first 20 days?
Wow.
Or roundabout.
I bet it's weird to have been working on a game for so long and then to finally have it done and out there. Does it feel strange knowing that people have seen it and people have played it?
It feels a relief.
Yeah, it feels a relief.
All right, so I need to try and
I
remember.
love the Ultra Hand.
Oh yeah, all these.
It's Mega Arm, Nintendo. Nintendo is the Mega Arm.
The Mega
So
Arm.
so Dom, do
Yep.
you recognize these items
yeah.
that you're stealing?
So that one.
Do you-
Sorry, Ginger.
Do you know who this face is? This
Yes.
This guy.
I do. So we had I think the disco shaver that I just collected. Is that correct?
Yep. Yep.
And then we've got the Santa Claus from the previous collab, right?
right.
Yep.
Yep, the best Santa.
So in the credits of the Christmas collab, Mercury Angel
Mhm.
did some like art, like every collab got like a gift.
yeah,
and,
they did an amazing job on the credit
These are
art.
the gifts, and you're stealing them.
Oh,
Oh.
right. Okay, I didn't make that connection. That's amazing. So we've
Out
got
of
like
the
a
deep
direct,
cut.
a direct link to the previous collaboration. That's so nice.
Truly is the sequel.
Also, I can't believe you first tried this, Dom. I struggle with this game in particular immensely. I think Freddy's AI for this,
Go ahead.
it's
Oh no.
Kids game.
it's really well done, and like I can't like make sense of how exactly it moves, but whatever he did, like I don't want him to like just spoil the secret too much unless he wants to, like if like how it works, but it's like really smart, and it it's really good at sneaking up on me.
So I actually have a specific question around how you kind of divvy up the work within these collaborations. Is, you know, it sounds like Disco was the initiator behind this theme and this kind of focus for the story, the basic premise. But how do you decide which? Oh, I got again. How do you decide which sections of the games you're going to do?
People just kind of put ideas out.
Yeah,
And
so
then-
it's more it's very freeform because the layout was just okay. There's a spooky mansion. We need a few games. We need a boss fight. We need some hub worlds. So like everyone just gets to decide like what their game is, just so long as it's spooky. The whole concept here is the anti-Col-lads. So just evil versions of ourselves. If you can put like a spooky game with evil Col-lads in it, Yeah, so I guess the games started development first, and we didn't really have anyone doing the hub. And Freddy finished his game because he is just an absolute workhorse, so he volunteered to do the hubs as well.
Okay, so we've jumped ahead to the end of the FPS Freddy Killer
The
bit.
best ending. I remember rehearsing this ending, writing the script, and being really excited. Was able to insert some of my bits, not Freddy Killer 100. That is not even made for the anti-Col-lads. That was just a single ready.
Nice. Who was
Yeah, what was
behind
up with
the Who was behind the text? I love the like italicized text in all of these games and in the hub world. Who actually
I did most of the text.
who handled the text? It's so nice, so nicely done.
I'm proud of these sprites of Freddy Killer 100.
They're very, very nice. This is
Wait,
also
so you never told us how do you make him bounce like that?
I said it's
yeah.
on a hinge.
I love this shatter effect. It's so well executed.
Everything Freddy Killer does is just perfect. How?
For real. You know, Dom, he started this collab with 800 hours in GBG. He ended it, I think, with, what, 1,200, 1,400?
Oh my goodness. Nice.
Freddy Killer's the strings and glue tying the entire thing
1200.
together.
That's definitely becoming evident as we play through this.
Like, each of his sections he put, like, no less than an entire work week and a half into.
It's incredible.
Oh,
Except
yeah, so
for
another thing
one
with the
of
new
them.
Lara model is, I noticed that, we had one spare connection, and I was like, oh, it'd be cool if he was holding a flashlight. Which became like this inventory system. We're like, oh, but we could make him hold all sorts of things.
And
But
it made
before
it-
you use the coin here, though, you can use these items elsewhere.
Oh?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how big of a hint you want. Freddy, can we talk about this now, or?
I guess we
I didn't know
could
about
if
this.
you want to show off the super secret ending in this video.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. I mean,
I
this
will
seems like
say,
the right place to do it.
A big thing is I wanted backtracking between the hub worlds in this game, and this is a really cool excuse to.
Aha,
Backtrack.
okay. Well, that's a good hint.
Secret ending
Let's
was a
see.
good excuse not to cut the item feature because I made it so you could switch items, that there were no blank spaces, and then Discord was like the second I went on Discord,
Oh,
maybe we
warm,
could cut the
warm.
items and
Okay, so wait, let me just recap. So normally you would use the coin that you collect from the FPS Freddy game in the arcade machine that takes you to the disco game, but as you all alluded to, there are maybe some alternate uses. So I have headed towards this wishing well, and I can see a prompt here. Should I press it? Is it time?
or should you?
I don't know. Should I? I'm gonna do it.
Should you?
Do it.
What if I said no?
17. Oh, okay. Are we gonna have a new code? Interesting. All right.
Okay, so you see the ceiling texture. The ceiling texture is basically just the floor texture with some stuff removed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it works.
Do you see the wallpaper texture?
Uh-huh.
The wallpaper texture is just the ceiling texture with stuff added.
Hey,
Yeah, he just like rotated at 45 degrees.
it works.
So
It's disco time.
yes, my game, yes. So
The best cutscene.
originally I planned for the scale of this to be much smaller, but everyone else started expanding on their projects and adding like cutscenes before their game and cutscene after, and I didn't want to slack on that, so I decided to take a crack at making a cutscene as well. I hope you enjoy.
Disco
game
made
is
the
just-
Polybius simulator.
I really love how this cutscene
I need
works.
to know how this
Just
how
the
this technically
most
works. as well.
visually phenomenal. Out of all
Yes.
these,
Yes, I will show you reveal behind the curtain. I've sent you a free camera code that shows exactly how all the secrets work here.
Perfect.
How did you do this?
Ooh,
Should we
is
we
it
have
spinning right now?
let's play through the cutscene just as it is first, so we can have a little refresher, and then I'll hop into the free cam one.
The
Uh,
camera moves so good. The spinning room looks amazing. How?
Thank you. You'll see.
I'm gonna love looking at this when the video comes out.
Wow. When's that
Oh.
video out, Donovan Shire? Hopefully.
I like how the
as
I like
viewers
how the
watching this.
rotation of the face looks. It's like a cartoon, like grinding stone sound effect.
Yes, it's so good. Is there a
This is the set.
Wow, where's
And,
Not? I can't believe you.
So
heard of
unfortunately,
Not
advanced
live on
cameras in
stream.
GBG just do not want to go upside down no matter what you do. So I
Yeah.
had to spin the entire world itself. Everything is hinged together very delicately. It's
Whoa.
actually nearly falling apart. If you press A, you can trigger the big spin.
Okay, let's
And
see
it's
it.
The big spin.
The big spin.
So we've got the rotating
Spin
disco
lady
face.
fab.
Wow.
and it's if you watch this long enough, it actually starts to like fall apart because it's barely held together.
But what a creative solution to the fact that the advanced cameras do not want to rotate. It reminds me a lot of how special effects in older films were achieved when they wanted to make it seem like a room was or a person was walking on the ceiling or something. They would actually turn a physical set round. And this is a great kind of digital version of that you've created here. So I actually, before we look at the game itself, I just want to quickly ask what the main inspirations were for this, because I think it's a very, very unique kind of exploration through this space.
This is something I've wanted to create in GBG forever, and I just never had the knowledge of how to do what I wanted to do until recently, thanks to like advancements in how to make graphics look 2D, hide shadows, get the colors. The limited aspect ratio is based off the Atari 2600. It's nice that it's kind of vertical because Lario moves slowly horizontally and he jumps really high. And having that like the really limited field of view, it's kind of like Silent Hill with like the fog of war, how it obscures, like you never know what's going to be on the next screen. So
Right.
I know it's kind of like not as spooky compared to like these like 3D games, but I hope that like by limiting the field of view and making the controls feel just bad, that it gets a bit spooky like that.
It's peak.
I actually disagree that it's not as scary as the 3D ones. I find this incredibly atmospheric and incredibly tense, partly for the reasons that you described, but also because of the fact it's harkening back to those older games and those games that feel like they're so full of mystery and, secrets that I really didn't know what was going to be around the bend. And it really did feel like anything could happen in here.
It looks really good. Could be on Atari Reel.
Absolutely, yeah.
There have been a
Yeah,
ton of
if you
methods
ever-
for creating like clean 2D images in GBG for a long time, but because it's a 3D engine, we have to find a way to hide the shadows cast by the light source. Like one way we do for a long time is like you can put the light source just underneath everything. That way you can't see the shadows, but it makes the sprites look very dark. Another way you can make 2D images look good is by just disabling the light source completely and making the sprites glow with the neon effect. But then they get kind of tinted purple and you lose a lot of colors. I don't fully understand it, but if you create like a sphere world and position all of the objects outside of the world itself, the sprites appear fully lit. The shadows are far off the camera so you can't see them, and you don't lose any colors. And you can actually see the world. It's actually like if you go a bit to the left, right under the starting area, you see that sphere underneath the start right there? That's actually the world itself right there.
Oh,
And
wow.
I just positioned
Whoa.
all outside of the world.
Wow.
I
Is
think
that what the world looks like?
I think that's a beautiful
Wow.
demonstration of the kind of techniques that have been developed by the GBG community over the last 2 and a bit years. Did you find having folks who are familiar with the project be able to give you feedback in kind of real time beneficial to your projects?
Yes, definitely. I originally wanted the Lario sprite to be just one single color, and I was being very lazy with the graphics. I was like, oh, I'll make it look like really like an Atari 2600 game. I'm just gonna have like plain solid blocks for like the ground and unicolored sprites with like no color to them. And Freddy was like, that's you could do better than that, Disco. Come on, try a bit harder.
I think sometimes it is about just being able to hear from people who are invested in the project and understand it. Like, oh, I think this is an area that that can be reworked, and I think it ends up for the better of everyone. Okay, I have a question I want to ask Disco.
Yes.
Obviously, the big bad of this game is the terrifying hyperreal spider. I feel like
Man.
hyper-real textures in GBG has been a bit of your forte over the year, and I guess it'll be a year and a bit since the AGTD tools were implemented. Where did you find this particular spider? Was it an actual video of a spider that you found? Did you manipulate the image somehow? I guess I should give a warning for anyone who's not a spider fan, because we're going to get up close and personal with this right now.
Yes, I stole this image, uncredited spider GIF from Google. It had a lot of frames on it. I cut out most of the frames and like compressed it a bit so it would fit into 4 textures.
It is.
I just really thought it would be like, you know those creepypasta games where they're like,
Yeah.
oh, and then the game started showing hyper realistic jam under his eyes, and
What even is hyper-realism?
Well, I think
I guess it's not that realistic.
Well, I think in the context of this game, it's incredibly realistic, right? When bricks are a single color and, you know, I don't know how many pixels across, to see something like that feels like it's going to pop out of my screen. I think it's really, really effective. The other thing is the AI behind the spider. I feel like, I don't know whether it's scripted to move into certain spots at certain times.
It's the Meowsy UFO. It's the Meowsy UFO.
Wow.
AI. It's the same AI.
That's amazing.
Well, I mean, I did
principle.
make the Meowsy UFO AI. One last thing, just
course.
that's my wife down there. I like to hide her in every game.
I was gonna say that's gotta be
Yeah,
our.
I spent a few extra note on her to give her a little animation and sound if you manage to reach her, which
Ooh.
Yeah.
I guess
It's like
it's a bit of a walk over there. So yeah, another thing is so I spent like months, I guess like my entire GBG career figuring out how to get these semi-solid platforms to work. That's my honey. That's my wife. I guess the one last final thing I wanted to show was like figuring out how to get semi-solid platforms to work. I invented like this completely brand new method because I wanted this game to have like a ton of semi-solid platforms. So like I figured out the most notable efficient way to do that is, although you can't see it, there is a Z-axis in this game. And these semi-solid platforms are very thin. They don't go back into the Z-axis. These solid platforms do go back into the Z-axis.
Interesting.
So whenever you jump or fall through a platform, Lario goes back into the Z-axis, so he doesn't collide with any semi-solid platforms. And as soon as he's falling down after a jump, then he returns to the foreground where the semi-solid platforms are, so he can interact with them.